So we're live, and in this video today, which is day 46, I'm asking you a very simple question with quite a complicated answer, and it's this: do you celebrate enough? I'm not talking about birthdays, I'm not talking about anniversaries, although for some people that counts too. I am talking about what's on the other side of the goal stick, the goals, the intentions, the ambitions, the aspirations. So many people that I speak to, like, they fight to get things done. They fight to tick off like to-do lists and things like that, bucket lists even. And then when they achieve it, they slide right on by. They're like, okay, what's next? And they go on. I see this for people who are highly driven, who might call themselves ambitious. So I'm going to talk today for a few minutes, because it's a Friday, about celebrating you. Now, first of all, why does this even matter? When we strive for, our goals, our aims, our intentions, our objectives, whatever you like to call it, however you like to language it, there are often kind of some remnants underneath the surface that we're not really conscious of, but they're there. And within those, it could be doubts, it could be, can I do this? It could be, did it work last time? It didn't work last time. I've never done it before. Somebody else has done it so much better than me. It's individual and unique for all of us. So it's worth diving into what that could be. And sometimes it's so embedded and so hidden, it's not something that we can even see. Which is when this comes in handy when I'm working with people, either individually or in groups, because I'm able to ask the questions. I have a methodology of training where I don't even need to hear what they're talking about, the specifics of it. I don't need to get into the drama or the emotion of the thing they're speaking about. But as long as they know what it is, we can work on it. So why this is important is if you can start to identify it, either by yourself or with someone else, like a coach or therapist or whoever it is that you would normally work with, if you can start to identify it, then it brings it to light so that you can see it. So what is so important about doing that? Often it's like the invisible thing that stops us. It is right on the end of our nose often. And if it's right on the end of your nose, what happens is as you search and look for it, often by yourself, you're doing something like this. So you're looking around, and even if you look down, you can maybe see there might be something there, but you can't see it. So it's really important to know why it matters, and specifically why it matters for you, and what it is, or at least have some inkling about what it is. And if you're working by yourself, it's quite hard to spot. When you're working with somebody else, as I say, coach, mentor, somebody like that, they can normally see it because of what you say and what you do. So if they can help spot it for you, now you can do something with that. You can transform it. But for other times when you're working with somebody else, the reason why it shifts faster is because they see it for you. And they also identify how it stops you. We will come up with things that feel like reasons, but usually are excuses for ourselves because in some way we don't feel safe. And this is not about somebody else doing something to us. Sometimes it's about what we do to ourselves. So once we've been able to start to uncover that, then we can start to clear away for the things that we really want, the things that we want to achieve. Quite often this step is missed. So people will often, through blood, sweat and tears, pushing water uphill, go for a goal, get it done, and then very quickly move on to the next thing. So the reason to stop and celebrate yourself is for acknowledgement. Now, different people do this in different ways. There are some people that are wired to be blasting it everywhere and telling everyone. That means that they've nailed the whole celebrating themselves. I particularly love and am drawn to the people who celebrate themselves in a way that celebrates themselves, but actually honors others too. It's not to say that if they don't do that, I don't like them or anything else like that, but they're the people that tend to resonate with me the most, likely because that's the space I come from. I, first and foremost, have been learning this lesson for decades of how to celebrate myself. And then when I can identify and celebrate myself and do something great for myself, then it usually serves other people too. But I've had to learn that in order to celebrate something, I have to go first. Whereas in the past, I've been more wired to, oh, that old thing, it's nothing to do with me, all to do with you. And don't get me wrong, in this world of coaching, mentoring, consulting, transformational stuff, it's I often give props to the person, to the client. I didn't do something to them. I might have helped them see a path for clarity. I might have been the catalyst, but I didn't do it to them or for them. However, as a facilitator, and the person that facilitates is either one-to-one or a group, there are a set of very special skills that I think are quite easy to learn when they're put in front of you. So I will be speaking even more about transformation. And I know that some of you are thinking, give me some more context on this. So if you're a founder, a CEO, a leader, and somebody who passes on knowledge, it might be formally in a training environment or a training way, or it might be informally that you are the person at the top and you're leading your teams in a certain way, but you want them to encompass the company's vision or your vision. Then there's a very different, I think, quicker and easier way, but a very different way to transform that so that the people that you are informing, sharing your insights with, training, are able to take on board the things that you say and do and then transform others, whether it's your clients, your database, the rest of your staff, your team, or someone else. In order to do this, I have got, I think, literally 2 days, possibly 3, but literally 2 days between now and around the 20th of August, where I can spend a whole day with you, call it a 1-day intensive. It might be with you, it might be with you and your VA, so they can capture all the different pieces for you. And if you don't have a VA, you could do it privately and I will get the VA to come in and do that and capture that for you. But what we'll do is we'll need to look at what it is you're looking to teach. So if you're not sure what that is yet, then it might not be right for you. If you don't know, then definitely book a call with me, schedule a call with me. We'll have a quick chat to see if this is right for you. But if, for example, I think of people who run events, people who run retreats, people who also run like VIP days or intensives, there'll be something that they're really great at that they want to impart on their clients. And often we go through the whiteboard and blackboard and handouts and that kind of stuff, and I'll tell you. But there's also room for transformation that people can get in just a sentence you speak, a thing that you do, something that doesn't seem planned or pre-scripted. You know what you're sharing, you know what to do, and you don't need the pre-scripts and the plans. But what you do want is for your client or clients to have the transformation. So even if you are delivering a tool, for example, to a corporate company, there will be ways in which you can do that. I know this firsthand. Many years ago, I actually used to go out to a lot of different companies and either train out Salesforce.com, which is software as a service, or would train their trainers to train out Salesforce.com. So that's one example that people often don't think about, especially coming from a girl with like a dark pink streaks or dark pink streaks in her hair. So it's really important to be able to know how to transform that. And it's one thing that we'll spend the day together, but you actually, when you work with me for a day, which is why I've only got kind of 2, maybe 3 spaces, I actually include a container of 30 days so that you and I can converse and speak for those 30 days afterwards. Sometimes things will go in instantly and you'll be able to action them straight away. Other times you'll want time to reflect so that you can do more of the thing you want and get away from a lot of the stuff that you don't want to do, really. So I will help you with all of that in that container. So we'll spend a day together. We'll we'll do a lot of stuff and we'll get everything mapped out, and then we'll continue. So I'll let you know even more about that. If you're watching this, even if it's on the replay and you're like, oh, that sounds like me, I want to know a bit more, reach out to me, and I'll either voice note you and tell you a bit more, or we'll jump on a call so that we can discuss a little bit more of how you can transform those people around you too. And then next week, I'm going to be running a little trilogy on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going to be talking about the anxious mind and how that affects us being able to show up in the world and be visible. I'm going to talk about overwhelm, and I'm going to talk about burnout. Now, all three topics aren't always necessarily attributed to visibility, but I'm going to show you from a visibility specialist perspective how anxiety, or what to do with anxiety, what to do with burnout, and what to do with overwhelm, because those three things are things that come up again and again and again. And I've got some nice quick and dirty tips to show you. So next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If you are watching this and you're watching this more than 7 days out, then the trilogy may have already started. Just probably the best place to pick it up is my YouTube channel. Come back to YouTube and you'll see trilogy, overwhelm, burnout, and anxiety. Easy to find and easy to subscribe while you're there too. Have a fantastic Friday. Today, I'm asking you to think back and celebrate yourself. The easiest way to do it is, what can you celebrate yourself for today? What can you celebrate yourself from yesterday, the day before, this last week, this last 7 days, since the beginning of this month, since the first half of this year? However you do it, but look in your immediate past and keep going back. You'll be surprised and amazed at how many things you can celebrate. That's it. Bye for now. I'll see you tomorrow.